Hello, my name is Bonita Summers. I'm an intuitive consultant. I thank you once again for joining me via video call. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the kind of tarot reading a person might get if they were looking at a particular relationship. Now, this reading works well if you are actually focused on someone in your life and you want to understand the dynamics of the relationship. Now, please bear in mind, what you're going to get is how you view the relationship, but it really picks up on a lot of internal cues you might not be paying attention to. If I were to do the same spread with this person in your life, they might get very different cards because they're viewing the relationship through their own mind and their own psyche, the way they look at things. So I would ask you in this case to focus on the person that you want to examine the relationship with. I'm going to turn the camera again so you can see the table. I would spread the cards. This time I would actually pick 12 cards. Now, I might not do it as quickly. It all depends on how I pick up what's happening in your psyche. I'd be picking the cards the way your psyche tells me to. And this spread works a little differently in that all the cards are laid down in advance. So I would hold up each card as we discuss it. So the cards on the left are the person who is getting the reading. The cards on the right are the person that they are asking for a reading about in terms of their relationship. And the cards in the center are the ones that are indicating the dynamics of this particular relationship. So, on the left side, we're looking at this particular individual. What I get on the physical level is this person is mentally exhausted. So in some way, they're stressed out in their life, and it's coming through it at the physical level as physical exhaustion, but it really has to do with overthinking a situation. On an emotional level, the ordinariness card says this person's pretty grounded emotionally. They're an everyday kind of person. They're not asking or demanding a lot in the relationship. They just want, basically they don't want drama. They want a calm, everyday kind of existence with their partner. And on a mental level, I would say this person is pretty patient. They're aware that some changes in relationships take a long time, and they're really biding their time in the relationship. They're not pushing the river too hard here. Now, bear in mind that this is how they perceive their partner. So on the physical level, they see their partner as somebody who's very outgoing, out into the world, doing a lot for other people, doing a lot of interacting and networking. It may be that they even pick up that the person seems too busy with others to be enough with them. So that might be what's going on. Emotionally, they see their partner as somebody who goes with the flow, doesn't get their feathers ruffled too much, is a pretty relaxed individual emotionally. The slowing down card says mentally this person might be one of those strong silent types, kind of quiet, not maybe habitual thinker. They don't challenge themselves very much. They're quite comfortable in the mode they're in. So when I look at the relationship dynamics, the first three cards tell me what's happening at the external level and the top three at the internal level. So if I'm looking at intimacy, and here what we're talking about is true intimacy, which is how the two people relate to each other, the physical level is really just an expression of what's happening emotionally. So we might get into physical. It all depends on what I pick up as I'm going. The cards only tell me so much. They're just a framework for my intuition. So in this case, I'm looking at the defensiveness card. And what I would say in a situation like that is that there's a disconnect happening with the intimacy because this person is feeling defensive. Maybe there's some arguing that's been going on. So they already tense up when this person's around because they're expecting an argument. So that's going to interfere with how close these people can get emotionally. And the Beyond Illusion card says that, this relationship is probably an older relationship. The honeymoon period is over. They're looking at things realistically, and that might cause a little bit of cynicism and therefore the defensiveness as well in the relationship. And yet in terms of integration, these people seem to be able to connect pretty well, to get the everyday stuff done together, to connect with what they need to do to accommodate each other. And it's interesting that on the internal level, we actually see some playfulness. There's a sense of humor involved in the relationship. And this is not uncommon to see some complexity here, where you can have some defensiveness in a relationship and also have some joy and some fun. People are complex beings. Things aren't always cut and dried. Now the last cards are really interesting because they have to do with what the gift of the relationship is. And even the most difficult relationships have a gift. That gift might be what we're learning from the relationship. So even if a relationship is coming to an end, we take some learning from that experience. Now it's interesting that we get on the external level the ripeness card, and that suggests that something's coming to fruition. There's something that is coming to a head in this relationship in a good way. There's a learning experience occurring here. Something's being gained. And all relationships should be a catalyst for growth. So something in this relationship is helping this individual to grow, and they'll now have something else to contribute to others because of what they've learned within their relationship. And on an internal level, we have the maturity card. So there's been a lot of maturing that's occurred within this relationship. However they're interacting with their partner, they've grown a lot because of this interaction. So this gives you a general idea about the relationship, and again, the cards are just a springboard. Discussion would then ensue with my client, and we would get deeper into where these cards are taking us. Quite often the cards serve to awaken the subconscious of the individual, get them in touch with these issues. We can then get into further discussion, and at that point my intuition takes over for me to find what other undertones are going on in the relationship. One thing you should know about me is I am far more interested in giving people practical advice to move forward in their life than just to tell them what I can tell them about themselves. My goal is to actually give you something to work with when we're done. I give exercises, I sometimes suggest you read certain books, I give you actual concrete advice. So I look forward to seeing you in future videos and via Skype and other video call programs. Thank you for your time, and until we meet again, take care.